overcome the Rutherford's drawback, what Bohr thought? Actually, his thinking is based on the past results, previous experiments, previous observations, previous notings, previous findings of various scientists, and the knowledge about the wave at that time. So how it has helped the Bohr? Before that, what has helped the Bohr? You should know. In the first part, you need to know a spectrum of light. In 1800, Sir William had studied the spectrum of the light. Means visible light they were knowing. So spectra, different colors came from the prism. What he did? He kept the thermometers at different colors, and he noted that beyond red color, means having wavelength more than red color, beyond red color there is a more heating. So different colors have different heating ability. That was his conclusion. Because of more heat capacity, there because of more heat causing ability of a red and further higher wavelength region, the name for that region given by Sir William Herschel was caloric waves. And other scientist a year later, who was inspired by the work of Herschel, studied the light beyond the purple end, means other end, and he found those lights are helpful for chemical reaction. So he said those are chemical waves. Nowadays names are different. Now you may guess what is the name for that chemical wave? Ultraviolet. And for caloric wave, infrared. And in 1867, means after considerable many years, many decades, almost 6 to 7 decades, James Maxwell predicted that there are lights which have further higher wavelength than infrared. And whatever Maxwell has predicted, in 1887, Heinrich Hertz proved the existence of radio waves. Those are same as like other electromagnetic waves. In 1895, Röntgen discovered X-rays. X-rays are highly energetic, means ultraviolet. Beyond that, there are X-rays. In 1900, Paul Villard discovered gamma rays. And where are those gamma rays? Beyond X-rays. So now how is our spectrum? Very left side, gamma rays, highly energetic. X-rays, ultraviolet, visible range, infrared, microwave, and then radio wave. What do you think? From left to right, wavelength increases or decreases? Yes, it increases. Wavelength increases as we move from gamma ray to radio waves. Frequency decreases. Energy decreases. So who is more energetic? Gamma rays. And who is least? Radio waves. Who is more heat causing? Radio waves. So that's the understanding of the spectrum. Now this understanding further has improved. What was the classical concept? Energy of light depends upon its intensity. Intensity depends on amplitude. So it's the function of amplitude they were considering energy. And light as a transverse wave they were considering. Continuous transverse wave, it was their concept. But this concept supports the problem. Who overcome the problem? What was the problem? Before that, let you know what happened about spectra of different molecules or spectra of different bodies or radiations from different bodies. Yes, different body can give the radiation. In 1862, Kirchhoff had given black body radiation law. He noted that body absorbs too many things, absorbs all the light, and while emitting also emits all the lights. And the spectrum and the curve is observed, and the wavelength of emission, means what are the color that body shows, no? That color is a function of wavelength and temperature. Means color of course depends upon wavelength. So color is a function of temperature. So at different temperature body can show different colors, and black body which is a good absorber. So new funda about the radiation absorption and emission Kirchhoff has put forwarded, and it was a tough to explain at that time. To make this concept clear, what Kirchhoff is saying, I give you the example. See, take the iron. Iron, if you go on heating, then at the beginning it remains red brown. Slowly it becomes orange, then yellow, and at last it becomes white. See, at different temperatures, what are the colors of iron? So whatever color we are seeing, that is a wavelength emitted. That is a maximum emitted wavelength. And maximum emission of the wavelength or the property of that wavelength depends on temperature. That's our Kirchhoff's law. But it was a challenge in front of the people to explain complete curve. Why such kind of the curves are observed, why such all wavelengths are noted. At last in 1893, Wiens found the solution for the explanation of the curve. But he could able to explain high energy curve, high energy radiation, but other radiations were not properly explained. One part he could not explain. It was a problem for the Wiens law. 7 years after that, means in 1900, Rayleigh did other attempt, and Rayleigh put forward his law, his formula. And what was the problem? Rayleigh could explain low energy curve, low energy radiations. Means one was explaining one thing but other thing could not explain. So still there was a problem of explanation of black body radiation. And this problem is solved, yes, in the same century, at the end of the century, by a genius scientist. I'll come to that. By the same time, see further what were the observations in the 19th century only. In 1885, Balmer heated the hydrogen gas. And what he noted from hydrogen gas, means hydrogen gas has absorbed something. And now hydrogen gas is emitting few lines, few wavelengths, 4 colors he has noted. What were those 4 colors? It is a wavelength for that line. Remember that, because after all we are going to derive this. Therefore now you need to what? Try to remember that. 656 nanometer. What is the color? Red color. Second, little higher wavelength he found in green region. And what is the wavelength? 486 nanometer. Third, higher energy wavelength he found, and that is in blue region. What is the wavelength? 434 nanometer. And last, more energetic color he noted, that is the purple color, and wavelength was 410 nanometer. So Balmer noted 4 lines. That's called line spectrum. This spectrum, no, lines were emitted. Particular wavelengths only were there. So such spectrum is called line spectrum. So Balmer has noted emission of light from the hydrogen gas in visible region. And whatever these lines or these wavelengths are observed by the Balmer, those wavelengths are explained by Rydberg. He put forwarded his constant. It's a trial and error, and he represented the formula. What was the Rydberg constant? At that time he noted, at that time Rydberg has not found what may be the formula to find out the Rydberg constant, but he found the constant, and that constant was 1.097 into 10 raised to 7 per meter. So mathematically he could able to explain, but basic reason behind that, why those emission is there, why those lines are observed, about that no idea was there. Afterwards, means considerably near to the Bohr's discovery, but let me tell that. In 1906, Lyman noted such emission from hydrogen gas only in ultraviolet region. And 2 years after that, in 1908, Paschen noted radiations in infrared region. So this atomic spectrum, that was also issue. So what were the issues in front of the scientist? Number 1, energy means exactly what? They were considering amplitude dependence and energy relation. Number 2, black body radiation. How can we explain the curve that was practically observed? So practically observed curve was to explain, that was a challenge. Wiens was explaining one part and Rayleigh was explaining other part. Third, there was to explain spectrum. These different spectra were observed. How can we explain that? In order to explain, a new era in the chemistry has started, and that era is called as quantum era. It was started by Max Planck in 1900. Max Planck said light travels in the form of small quanta, small energy packet, and he said it is the photon. That is the only new idea he has given. Then energy for the light, people went on finding E is equal to h nu. Then relationship between wavelength, frequency and speed of the light, that people were knowing. Wave number concept people were knowing. So because of the idea of Max Planck, a new application started, new equation came out, and the equation put forwarded by Max Planck could explain complete curve which was observed during black body radiation. And it was a great achievement. Means considering light made up of quanta, it is quantum approach, beginning quantum approach. After that, in 1905, groundbreaking discoveries Albert Einstein did. And Albert Einstein said, he has given a famous energy equation. What is the famous energy equation that Einstein has given? E is equal to mc square. Yes, previously people were not doing that. Light can be with the mass. You also might be not thinking light means has no mass, likewise you were thinking. No, students, light has a mass. If mass is zero, energy will be zero. Light has energy, so therefore certainly mass should be there. E is equal to mc square. So he put forward the concept wave can exist in the form of particle. So wave particle relation, dualism, that he has explained. And there the concept was very clear. Energy means is not a function of the amplitude. Einstein's famous photoelectric effect is there. How far the larger intensity may be, if light has not that much potential, if light has not that much energy, if light has not a good frequency, a necessary frequency, electron will not emit. So threshold frequency, threshold energy, threshold concept came due to the Einstein's photoelectric effect. It shows that a light has the particle nature. Because of that, as a snooker ball player hits a ball by means of stick, likewise light hits the electron, electron ejects out. That was the Einstein concept of the particle nature in the wave. Why for I told you all these stories? So now Bohr is with which data? Bohr came to know that radiations are coming from hydrogen, and those radiations means energy packet. Energy is released and particular energy only is released. So particular energy should be there, particular shelves should be there, particular orbits should be there in an atom. And by the same time, Max Planck quantized the light, small energy packet, and the energy is fixed, that is said for particular wavelength. So likewise for that particular orbit he fixed the energy. Fixed energy gap will be there, fixed energy gap, fixed emission will be there. So that was the thought of the Bohr. So Bohr modified the Rutherford's model, and what he said, energy of orbit is quantized, a stable orbit concept, or electron revolution without loss of energy, a concept that he put, because what are the drawback that is to overcome, and the base should be there for that. Solid base he could not give, but at least he thought. So what are the postulates of Bohr's theory? Let us see. Actually, Bohr's model for the atom can be described for hydrogen and hydrogen like species. For example, He plus, helium plus, or Li plus 2, or beryllium plus 3. What are its postulates? He said energy of electron in orbit is fixed. Energy of orbit is fixed, and this energy changes with change in radius. First postulate. And second postulate, a centripetal force and centrifugal force balance, therefore electron remains stable in particular orbit. And third postulate, Angular momentum of an electron is quantized. Quantized means in multiple of, means integral multiple of. So what formula he has suggested for the angular momentum? Angular momentum is equal to nh upon 2 pi. What is h? Planck's constant. What is the value of Planck's constant? 6.626 into 10 raised to minus 34 joule second. What is n here? N is an integer, means integral multiple. Quantized means what? Integral multiple. Now what is the fourth postulate? In order to explain the Balmer series and Paschen series and Lyman series, he said if radiation is absorbed by the electron, electron will go to higher energy level. And the same electron, if returns to the lower energy level, it will emit the radiation. So what are the spectrums were observed? Because of the emission, because electron was returning from higher level to lower level. And why electron went to higher level? Because of the heat, because of the radiation absorbed. So electron will take energy and will go in the higher energy level, and electron will release energy and will come in down energy level. And then he said, obviously, if electron absorbs some energy and goes to the higher energy level, and that energy is E2 and lower energy level is E1, it will not remain for longer time at higher excited level. It will return down. And while returning down, it will emit the radiation. And that radiation is equal to this gap. What is this gap? E2 minus E1, or difference in the energy gap. You can say absolute value or modulus value is equal to energy of the light emitted. And what is the energy of the light? Is equal to h nu. So difference in the energy is equal to h nu. So radiations emitted we can find out if we know the energies of the orbits, or if we know energy levels and their energies. So what model Bohr suggested? Nucleus is at center, electron is there around the nucleus, means satellite model or planetary model that Rutherford suggested. Same he has implemented, but properly he has explained. And the centrifugal force and centripetal force are matching. And in advance, what you can say, different energy levels are there, different orbits are there in an atom, in hydrogen atom. So here it is represented. So for 4 energy levels, or the 4 trajectories where electron can revolve, are represented. Bohr has given the formula for energy of the orbit. Energy of nth orbit, En is equal to minus R C H into Z square upon N square. What is R? Yes, one scientist, after Balmer trial and error, he found one constant. Yes, it's the Rydberg constant. What is C? Speed of light. What is H? Planck's constant. What is Z? It is a atomic number or charge of protons, nuclear charge. You can say Z means atomic number. And what is N? N is a orbit number. First orbit, second orbit, third orbit. At last you can say maximum, infinite orbit. What is the formula given by the Bohr? Minus what? Minus sign indicates lower energy. Why minus sign? That you have to answer. And simplify this formula. I want this formula, substitute the value of R, substitute the value of C, substitute the value of H, and give me the answer in SI unit. What is the formula for energy? You can put that formula in comment box. Do you know the value of R? Yes, I told you the value of R. What is the value of H? That also I told. What is the value of C? 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. And I want answer of energy in SI unit. One more thing you need to do. This answer you will get per atom. I want that answer per mole. Avogadro's number of the species you have to consider. Per mole of the hydrogen atoms, or what will be the energy. Only not for the one system, or per mole of the hydrogen atoms. What is 1 mole? 1 mole means Avogadro's number. So what you have to find out? The energy of nth orbit for Avogadro's number of the hydrogen atoms. Avogadro's number of the energy levels. In total, you find out the energy. One more formula I informed to you and I conclude my lecture. The radius of Bohr's orbit is equal to n square upon z into 53 picometer. Means what you need to substitute? Atomic number Z and the orbit number. You will get the radius of that orbit. So now formula for energy, formula for radius, Bohr's postulate we have studied. It's a homework for you. You have to answer why is energy negative in Bohr's orbit, and you have to express that energy in terms of joule per atom and kilojoule per mole. I am waiting for your answer in the comment box. Let us see what are the applications of these Bohr's postulates, or what are the applications of these formulae. That we will see in next part.